go way back in the 70s when Jerry Brown was governor of California. And you know, Jerry Brown talked about the environment before people could spell it. And I remember so vividly that he said, if we don't pay attention and clean up our environment, it will come back to harm us. And he was never so right. In about 1986, Tom Hayden, and I think everyone in California knows of Tom Hayden, and he was the kind of person that would be called green at that time. And he ran Proposition 65 to list the kinds of pollutants that were in the atmosphere. And California, being on the water's edge and in a basin, often pollutants got trapped up against those mountains. I remember flying up every week to Sacramento and then coming back, and there was so much gunk in the air, you wanted to have on a gas mask. So over the years, we passed laws that really required you to have a smog check, because the exhaust from automobiles going in along with the oil and so on would cause this deep, dark pale hanging over that basin. And so over the years, we cleared it up. So when you land, you know, I used to want to hold my nose and land real quick. Now the atmosphere is pretty clear. So out of that came Tom Hayden saying that, you know, we ought to know what's in our environment, the pesticides and herbicides and all that are out there. You know, when they tint your house, what is that? And so he really pushed it, and some of us caught it. And I chaired, and we had bills that came through, and I would see that we had the votes to get them out, and they were signed. After Jerry left, we had 16 years of very conservative governors. We had Duke Mason and we had Pete Wilson. And for one reason or the other, they tried to hold back. And they called, you know, Jerry Governor Moonbeam and so on and so forth. But he had the vision. So when Prop 13 passed, we start looking at the substances that are used, the herbicides, pesticides, and so on. We found that on that list was some of the most, shall I say, highest ranking chemicals that could really have an effect on humans, animals, agriculture, groundwater, soil, and particularly the atmosphere. And rising to the top was mercury.